So I've just added 762.5 mils of water, 375 mils of starter to 1 kilogram of flour, which has got a mixture of strong granary and spelt. Oh my lord. But can you see the starter floating, by the way? That tells you enough, man. That's super active, okay? So that's 80% hydration. Can I have a go? Some people do 100% hydration. It's too holy. It's just way too holy. What's the point? It can't take your poached eggs. Okay, all right, take care. Sourdough, yoga, running nuts. So I've mixed it all in, first time. You look at all that. So that's 80%, okay? Now I should have a little camera stand here, but I'm just going to I've cleaned the bowl, but I'll just show you what it looks like just beginning. So it's wet. But that's going to change. I know it is, okay? Just leave it. I'm going to leave it for 20 minutes. I'm going to go and work on lower back stuff with Ganesh Mohan. I'm going to come back, shape it again. Then I'm going to go out for an hour and a half for a little runny yoga-y thingy. Then come back, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, stretch, fold. And you'll have a little look at that as it develops. I've got no idea if this is going to work, but we'll give it a go, yeah? Okay, folks, so I've just gone out for my hour and a half. I can see it's starting to get active. I've just wet my hands. I did a bit of fold, but you might not be able to see this, but I can. A little bubble here and bubbles here are telling me this is beginning to get active. So I'm going to do a little bit of stretch and fold. Let's see how it is at 80%. And I can, although it feels a bit floppy, I can feel that gluten starting to form. And you can see what I'm doing here. It's not a rocket science, okay? The only time I've ever used my degree in rocket science is by saying it's not rocket science. Isn't that great? So you can see what I'm doing. Now I can tell it's getting better because it's coming off the thing. So I'm going to now do what I like to do. My move is fold it back on itself. And I can feel that gluten starting to get tighter. Nowhere near yet, but it's starting to get tighter and tighter. Okay, so it's still sticky. If it comes off my hands as sticky, it's not ready. So we're going to leave that again, half an hour, and we'll do it again. Okay, just leave it. Let nature do what it's meant to do. Thumbs up, sticky hands. So I'm going to wash my hands before I turn off the little mobile phone, as I should do. The only problem with sticky dough is obviously it gets everywhere. Okay, so I've had 15 minutes. I won't go on and on like this, but I'm going to say again, so I've had two stretches and folds, and I can see the gluten starting to hold that. It's not like as it were. I wet my hands a little bit, only a little bit, right? Don't make them too wet. If you make them too wet, you put another mil of water into there. Okay, so here we go again. Much better. I can feel it straight away. That's very tight, or tighter I should say, and it's not coming off my hands. You can see it straight away. It's not sticky, and I reckon in about an hour's time doing a lot of this, you can see what I'm doing, it's going to be almost ready to go into the fridge, because that was a very, very active starter. Okay, but I'll keep on doing this until my wee niece comes around, because she's finding her maths hard, so I'm giving her some help, okay? Only other time I've used my degree in rocket science is helping kids, which is no bad thing, is it? Okay, so you can see here, now you can see straight away, not as sticky, all right? So that's definitely at 80%, completely fine. Patience is a virtue, all right? Hi folks, Nick here again. So one more fold, a little bit of water, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, watch it again. So this is coming off much nicer. I can feel it. You can see it. Doesn't need to tell you about this, and then you can see the difference here now is it's really soft, but also I can fold it. My hands are coming off it. And I might do couple more, spaced out between half an hours. and then we'll see it getting into the overnight bowl. Then you'll see it in the morning, but I'm going into the fell running tomorrow morning, so it's going to have a really long prove. Then we'll see it baked. See if we can do it, and shaped as well, baked and shaped. Okay, there you go. Okay people, Nick here. This is probably the final time. Oiled bowl, stretch, fold and stretch, 80%. What's it feel like? Well, that feels really nice. Okay, you can probably see it now. And really, when I'm putting it into the fridge, yeah, you can just see how that's forming a bowl. And should have really wet my hands actually, but never mind. You can see how it's getting tighter and tighter, and if I keep on doing this it'll be fine, but that is great. Okay, so that's taken about 3 or 4 hours at room temperature. So I'm going to plop that into the bowl, put that into, oh blimey, that is tight actually, that's good. Okay, that's fine, so that's okay. Into a bowl. Cover that. You'll see that tomorrow morning. See what it looks like. So remember what it looks like. And then we will go for a fell run exercise and come back. So it's going to prove maybe 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 19, 20, maybe about 21, 22 hours. We'll shape it and then put it into the oven and see what happens, okay? Exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting. All right, take care, people. Morning, folks. This has had 12, this is proving a lot. So I'm going to say 18, 19 hours. It's doubled in size. So what I'm going to do now, well, I know the weight of this bowl is 1.28 kilos, 1,280 kilos, okay? 1.28 kilos. All right, it's the morning time. I'm going to weigh this out and then divide and work out how much to divide this, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that, okay? But definitely know your bowl size, all right? Because that's the thing that's going to keep you right. You don't want to weigh out dough that's off by 100 kilos, okay? So you can see it's doubled in size and it's pretty lively. Just a quick one, use rice flour. If you haven't got it, wholemeal flour. Don't use flour, because flour, as it were, the dough comes in contact with the flour and makes gluten. That's why it sticks. Wholemeal's got enough bits in it. It's okay. Rice flour is far better. Okay, so cover that a good layer with that. All right, that's kind of what you need to do. I mean, it's gonna smooth it with my hand, but you get the idea. All right, so rice flour number 1. If you haven't got that, I've run out. Wholemeal flour. Folks, folding, shaping time. We're going to do it once. You're going to repeat it if necessary. Bit of oil, very lightly oiled here. Okay. I've got the scales ready. Dough. There's a lot of dough. Let's give it a go. Okay, this is very wet. As I said, it's basically, I want to keep that. Oopsie daisy. Take it out. And you can see how lively that is. I hope you can. Ready to go. Okay. So you can just see that is very, very wet. Okay. So I'm going to measure out, weigh out 1,050. So this is going to go back over there, weigh that. 1,044, get in. Now, oil my hands. Okay. So my hands are definitely oily, probably a bit too oily. This is what I do. Stretch, 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 stretch. Fold over, lay it down. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then I roll. Now I saw this done in a video, and all that's happening is I'm rolling in on itself and you can see what's happening, I hope you can, is actually I'm starting to gain a little bit of tension around there. If your hands are oily, if they're not oily, you're doomed, okay? But you can see what's happening, okay? And it's starting to get tighter. Now if I start to roll that out this way, you can see I'm turning it, pulling it, turning it a little bit, and pulling it, and that forms the gluten little balloon, which you can see there. It's really wet, mind you. I've never tried this at 80%, so we'll give it a go. Bowl, plop in, whole wheat, okay? I've no idea if this is going to work, but hey, no harm is there, giving it a go. A lot more whole meal flour, and that's that one done. In the fridge, I'm going for a fell run now, so this is going to be there for a long time. We'll see how it is, okay? Then I'll show you what I do next. All right, bye-bye. Folks, how are you doing? I've been away for the fell run, blah, blah, blah. Here it is from the fridge. It's a bit lively. It might have overproved, okay? It's been in there now for about 3 or 4 hours. You can see it. I'm going to give it a bit of a shake around because it's a bit, I can see it's a bit against the basket. Get these old casserole dishes. I use Pyrex dishes, okay? Flip it over. It's in. No problem. It's definitely a bit overproofed, I'll tell you that for nothing. But because I've got this, there's only one way this bread's gonna go, and that's up. So what I do is I cover it, da-da, like that. Give it another swirl around. I've got one more to do. Put it in the oven. The oven's not on. Put it in the oven, turn the oven on full whack, 30 minutes covered. We'll have a look at it then. I've got another one to do, and we'll see what happens, okay? So it's not that hard, but if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have this steam. And I just think it'd go bloop. So this is a really good way of keeping it lifting up, okay? So Pyrex dish is a cheap way of doing it. So the bread's had 30 minutes in covered. So have a look. I didn't slash it on purpose. It's touching the, so we'll just take it off and show you what the steam is there. It's very hot. Now you can see steam's coming out. So that's going to go back in the oven, uncovered. I haven't slashed it, okay? I could have done, but I think it was overproofed. I'll do the other one just to show you. And this one, oops, doing that there. This one is cracking a bit. You can see it there. Okay, that's it. And I might just help it a little bit with a knife just to not stick it, because it will. These things do stick a little bit. There you go. That's fine. Okay. Put it back in the oven. 30 minutes uncovered. If I didn't put it back in, then it would have gone down and lost all of its rise. Okay, so quite quick, nice crust. The steam gives it a nice crust. That's why it's covered with steam first, and then we'll take it out. I'm gonna have a shower now. Okay, wash my hands, but I'm still stinking from the fells. All right, bye-bye. Hi folks, so exactly 30 minutes in, here's one of them. I have to say I haven't slashed it. You can see it's slightly overproofed, little bubbles on there. If I take it out of here, it's not, you know, it's hollow sounding, so I know that's done. And you know, I just use these Pyrex dishes for baking, so they're not super clean, okay, but they get a real good hammer. I wash them once or twice, you know, a week, okay? So you can see it there. Right, one thing I would say, leave it to cool completely And then we're going to just cut a bit off so you can see the structure, okay? At the moment it's hard because it's still cooking inside. So you've got to leave it. Don't slice it off now because it'll be quite spongy and bready, and you want to get the crumb right, okay? So let's just leave that and let it cool completely, and I will cut a slice in 3 hours time or something like that, okay? So be patient with things, but this is a meal in itself, so it's going to last a whole week, this. You know, I don't stuff that down my face, slices of this every day. 1 or 2 slices a day, that's it. So it's a complete food. So that, you know, there you go. Okay. Okay, people, was it worth the faff? If you've come this far, 15 minutes in, well done. So here it is, cooled down. It's a bit of wholemeal on the top. It doesn't matter, it's going to be eaten. It's got spring, 80%. Is it okay? Knife, good knife. That sounds okay, isn't it? Is it a bit bready? I don't know. Actually, that's not so bad. Maybe. Can you see that? Yeah, it's okay. It's not as springy. It's nice. Yeah, no, it's good. That's okay. So it doesn't. It's a little bit different to 74, 75%, but I reckon 85% may be a bit excessive. So there you go. 80% hydration. Here the crust. That is nice actually. Okay. Take care, people.